Universal Practical Knowledge. It's Thursday night. It's a scripture breakdown class. For all you brothers and sisters tuning in across the nation, give yourselves a hand because you could be with the rest of the world partaking in the celebration of a very evil holiday, which is Thanksgiving. You could be sitting around with your family with turkey and the cranberry sauce and mashed potato, ham, chitlins, other that our people that the white man tells us to gather around and beat hands and to say praise, food and the health and the wealth and all the other nonsense BS that they shove down our throats. Well, tonight we're gonna get a comprehensive breakdown of the sin of sin. We'll go into scriptures and show you that. We're going to history and show you that not only did the white man lie about Thanksgiving, only is celebrating things, taken in oppressor, glorifying, gloating about his conquest and genocide against your brothers. The Bible prophesied what the white man has done to the Native American Indians, and the Bible prophesied the white man celebrating Thanksgiving.
That's right.
You understand? So as we go through these scriptures, you brothers and sisters all across the country, you want to take these notes and make sure that you have in your arsenal all of the scriptures necessary for you to combat the evil of the Christian, evil of your family members, the evil of the white man and his white supremacy in celebrating Thanksgiving. All right. First, let me get Amos chapter 5, verse 21. For all you brothers and sisters out there, this is a scripture in the UPK. Amos 5 and 21 is a scripture we go to anytime any of the white man's so-called days come up. You understand? You brothers and sisters out there that you think that the Lord, everybody Christian, with Jesus Christ. That's what every Christian says. I got a personal relationship with Jesus. He knows my heart. And my Jesus is this and my Jesus is that. Well, listen, the Lord has such a personal relationship with all of us. He tell us what to eat, tell you who to have sex with. The Most High do what you can celebrate, what you can't celebrate. The Most High say how you should dress. The Most High say how you should talk, how you should walk. You understand how personal the Most High is with the children of Israel. This is how serious about us obeying him and about us walking in the path that he set for us. Let me get Amos chapter 5, verse 21. Raise your hand if you got it. Come on with it, brother in the front.
Amos chapter 5, verse 21. I hate.
Hold up. Say that again.
I hate.
One more time.
I hate.
In Christianity, we taught that God is all love. They say the Bible is about love, and God is all love. If God is all love, then why are we reading in the book of Amos that the Lord said he hates? If God is all love and want to kiss you in the mouth and he hates the sin and not the sinner, why is the Lord saying he hates? First thing you got to understand coming into the truth is that the white man has lied to you about everything. And why is it important to focus on the white man lying about everything? Because everything we've learned, we've been taught by the white man. It's just a fact of life. All you out there who say we focus on the white man too much, why is all this talk about the white man? Well, you call black, Latino, everything that you learned came from your ABC, 2, 3s, up, down, left, right. The language you speak comes from the white man. God said that the white man is the devil in the Bible. What does the word devil mean? The word devil means deceiver. So when you come into this, realize that you've been lied to about everything in your life. God said that he hates in the Bible, and it is a righteous thing that the Lord hates. Why? Because along with the Lord's hate comes love. Let's read on. The Lord said he hates. Read on.
I despise your feast days.
The Lord said he despised your feast days. What are your feast days? Your feast days are the things that you celebrate. Why is the Lord specifying that he hates your feast days? Because in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, God gave his feast days. God told you what he wanted you to celebrate. God gave you days to gather with your family and to say prayers and to be thankful and to eat good food and to have a celebration and to get a good drink. The book of Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, tells you about the Passover.
That's right.
Tells you about the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Tells you about the Feast of First Fruits. Tells you about the Feast of Tabernacles. God gave us high holy days, gave us days to celebrate. The Lord said, your days, your feast days, he hates them. What are your feast days? Thanksgiving, your birthday, Christmas coming up. Yeah, the white man that took Thanksgiving and turned it into 2 holidays. They got Black Friday.
Right.
You understand? Valentine's Day. The 4th of July. President's Day. Columbus Day. The white man is an evil, disgusting bastard, and God said he hates and despises your feast days. Read on.
I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
Solemn assemblies.
Your solemn assemblies.
What is a solemn assembly? A solemn assembly is like a serious gathering, a special gathering. What happened if all of us in this room tonight, and your brothers and sisters tuning in across the country, y'all in this room tonight, but what is everybody else doing? They gather around that table, they holding hands, saying a good prayer. Hell, my family, they used to make us take turns saying what we thankful for. We broke and we poor. We had family members on crack, other family members in jail. We standing around talking about we thankful for health, and thankful for the food, and we're thankful for, freedom. All the things the white man told us that we had. It's a goddamn lie. But they gathered in a solemn assembly. Hell, how many people go to church on Thanksgiving? Go to church Thursday morning. Praise Jesus. Oh, the Lord is so good. God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. Singing goofy ass songs. Right. All of it is evil and disgusting against the Lord, man. The Lord said he's not going to smell in your solemn assemblies. Why is the Lord talking about smelling? Because when the Lord gave us, in Leviticus 23rd chapter, when the Lord gave us his holy days, the Lord said, burn incense so I can smell that sweet savor. The Lord said, I want to hear the smelling. I want to smell the sacrifices. The Lord said he want to smell, you understand, the lamb being burnt on the altar. He want to smell the sacrifices of the bulls going up on the altar. He want to smell the chicken being cooked. The Lord said he not smelling what you cooking on Thanksgiving. He ain't smelling that salmonella turkey. He ain't smelling that rat dog ham you cooking. The Lord ain't smelling the crabs and the shrimp and the lobster that you're steaming. The Lord said he's not going to smell in your solemn assemblies. The Lord don't want to have nothing to do with your celebrations. And that's what Thanksgiving is. Your celebration given to you by your slave master. It's 2018 and blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians are still doing things just because the white man told them to do it. It's a damn shame. Now, Mariah, you said you had an article on them salmonella turkeys, right? Let's read a little bit about that so you can see how the Lord is against this Thanksgiving, how the Lord is against this white man celebration. Now, when we was coming out of Egypt, when the Most High brought plagues down on Egypt, all of the plagues the Lord brought against Egypt were signs against the Egyptian gods. Egyptians was worshiping the Nile River, the Lord turned it to blood. Egyptians was worshiping the beetles and the goddamn sand animals. The Lord brought locusts to eat up all the crops. They worshiping the damn bull and worshiping the alligator. The Lord brought frogs to plague them. The Lord's plagues on Egypt was also making fun of the Egyptian gods. Or the Lord is making fun of the white man by plaguing the animal, which is the symbol of this Thanksgiving celebration, and it's that turkey. Go ahead, Mariah, read.
Deadly salmonella turkey outbreak forces USDA to recall raw turkey, CNN reports. With Thanksgiving just around the corner, the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food Safety and Inspection Services has recalled turkey products linked to a salmonella outbreak. Junio Turkey Store Sales LLC recalled 91,388 pounds of raw ground turkey products after USDA found that a sample of the products tested positive for salmonella reading matching the outbreak strain.
Yeah, 91,000 pounds of ground turkey products Now, the ground turkey was infected. What about the whole turkeys?
Right.
You think the ground turkey is infected and the whole turkeys is not? The white man not gonna recall whole turkeys. They'll put out a warning, hey y'all, the ground turkey, man, we messed up, man. Ground turkey got that salmonella, we gotta call that back. But imagine if there was a recall on turkeys. Imagine if there was a recall on whole turkeys. People would have lost their goddamn mind. Right. It's bad enough to try and find a turkey around Thanksgiving. Imagine trying to find a turkey when they had to take 91,000 pounds of them off the market. White man that sold you poison turkey on Thanksgiving. His brothers and sisters, people all around the country, sitting down, holding hands over that turkey, and they're going to get sick. Lord be with them if they brothers and sisters. Hopefully they don't die. But watching the news tomorrow, you're going to see death by turkey, death by Thanksgiving. Salmonella turkeys. That's the Lord. Showing you that he against this nonsense. Any more on that? Any more poignant information on that story?
I'm looking for something now, sir.
No sweat. Don't even worry about it. We can drop that. You understand? Let's get Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 13. You know what I'm saying? Because brothers and sisters always try to find, just like brothers and sisters try to find an excuse to love the white man, and Christians try to find an excuse not to keep the laws of the Bible, you're going to have brothers and sisters that you encounter that's going to try to find an excuse to celebrate Thanksgiving. It goes far saying, well, man, we don't celebrate no Thanksgiving, but, we eat and get together because it's a day off. Oh, yeah, well, we do it for the kids, man. You get all the family together. We'll get together like we used to no more. Go ahead, Marab.
If I could, can I read this one part of the article? It says, lab tests show that the salmonella came from a variety of products, including ground turkey and turkey patties. Tests show it's also been in live turkeys and pet food.
Exactly. There you right there. You understand? This salmonella is in live turkeys, which means when them turkeys get killed for Thanksgiving, the salmonella is on your dinner plate. Salmonella sitting on the table right now. Thanks to the Most High Christ, you in here. You understand? Read on.
Oh my God. Symptoms of salmonella infection include fever, diarrhea, and stomach cramps, and they usually last for 4 to 7 days.
Fever, diarrhea, stomach cramps. What I missed? Fever, diarrhea, what?
Stomach cramps. Oh, and stomach cramps. They usually last for 4 to 7 days.
Stomach cramps that last from 4 to 7 days. Go ahead, Marab.
In rare cases, the infection can cause death if a patient is not treated properly with antibiotics.
In rare cases, it can cause death. You understand? What did the Most High plague the Africans with back when we was in Egypt? If you think the Lord don't deal in diseases and sickness, the Lord plagued some Africans with hemorrhoids in the Bible. Plagued them with hemorrhoids so much that they built the altar to hemorrhoids. Trial of the hemorrhoids. Everybody understand? This is the Lord that's working and bringing it to shame brothers and sisters for celebrating this evil that the white man has reported against us. Everybody understand? Your stomach get the bubbling, you get that diarrhea, you got to go to the hospital. Just know that the Lord is the one that has done it. Everybody understand? Any more?
This is the last paragraph on it, sir. The CDC said that if you plan to handle raw turkey, make sure you are extra careful. Wash your hands after touching it. Cook products thoroughly to avoid getting sick. Thaw turkeys in the refrigerator, not on the counter.
You understand? The white man trying to give you all the instructions except for telling you to obey the Lord and not celebrate Thanksgiving.
Right. We
here to tell you the only way you're going to avoid getting sick is by serving the Lord. Everybody understand that? Now, turkey isn't evil. Eating turkeys isn't evil. But eating turkey when the white man tell you to sit around and eat turkey and be thankful is disgusting. And it is a shameful act. Everybody understand? The sin is not in the turkey. The sin is in celebrating what your slave master told you to celebrate. The sin is in what it is your slave master is celebrating. Everybody understand that? Ain't nothing wrong with no turkey and stuffing and cranberry sauce and mashed potatoes and roast beef and gravy and all that. I'm giving some of y'all flashback. Macaroni and cheese. Ain't nothing wrong with none of that. Hell, the feast of dedication coming up. That's right. Cook some of that good food. You sisters in the truth, you ain't get a chance to flex them culinary skills tonight. Praise the Most High. He give you a chance to flex it. We're gonna have a 7 to 8 day feast coming up. You sisters that ain't doing that Thanksgiving, save all that good food and all them good flavors. Save it for when the time to celebrate, when the Lord told us to celebrate come around. You understand? There's no excuse to partake in this evil. I don't give a damn what you come up with. Give me Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 13. Come on with it.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 13. Consider the work of God, for who can make that straight which crooked?
You understand? Consider the work of the Most High. Consider everything that the Lord done created and everything the Most High done done. Consider what he's done in your life. You understand? All of us have come from being evil, disgusting sinners. All of us came from being liars and thieves and schemers and pimps and players and hoes and drug dealers and murderers and robbers. We done all came from being evil, doing something wicked. Consider the work that the Lord has did with you. Consider how you turned around. Consider how you repented, or you on your way to repenting and becoming brand new. Consider the work of the Lord. Read the second half again.
For who can make that straight which he has made crooked?
For who can make that straight which the Lord has made crooked? The Lord made the white man to be crooked. And everything the white man produces is crooked. You can't take Thanksgiving and make it something straight. You can't take Thanksgiving and make it something that's acceptable. You can't take Thanksgiving and make it something that's, all right. There's no excuse for trying to take this evil, disgusting holiday, which the white man created off the murder and the genocide of your brothers, and turn it into something that's acceptable.
Right.
Everybody understands. Is that it on that?
Come on.
All right, now I'm gonna play this video. There's a video about the origins of Thanksgiving, the history of Thanksgiving. Now, we've all been told that Thanksgiving is a celebration of the Pilgrims and the Indians coming together. When the Pilgrims first came to America and the winter time came and they was getting ready to starve, the Indians came out and said, hey, these white, pale people who don't know how to live off the land, who are about to die, we're gonna feed them. We're gonna shelter them. We're gonna have a celebration about the peace of us coming together and how wonderful this new world and this new, clashing of the cultures is. Everything that we've been taught about Thanksgiving is an evil, disgusting lie. You understand? Right. Let me get Psalms chapter 10, verse 5. Psalms chapter 10, verse 5. Matter of fact, let me get verse 5. Let me get Psalms chapter 10, verse 7. Psalms, the 10th chapter, is a chapter about the wicked. You understand? And we know that the white man is the wicked. The white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? Young brother, you got it. Let's get Psalms chapter 10, verse 7. We're going to read loud so they can hear you.
His mouth is full of cursing.
His mouth is full of cursing. You understand? Everything that the white man speaks is a lie, is destruction. The white man speaks nothing but curses on you. And what is a curse? A curse is not, what we've been taught as curse words. Curse ain't a four-letter word. Curse ain't you calling somebody the B word or telling somebody F you. That's not a curse word. A curse word is somebody speaking something that'll cause you to die. The white man telling you to celebrate Thanksgiving is cursing. His mouth is full of cursing. The white man telling you to celebrate Christmas is a cursing. The white man telling you that he came to America and made deals with the Native Indians. The white man has been lying for years and saying, Native Indians sold us land for mirrors. The white man sold us land for beans. We gave them beans and they gave us this territory over here. The white man has lied about everything in history. The white man has lied about how he's found himself ruling over this land. Native Indians never sold anything to the white man. The white man came over here, murdered, raped, robbed, and stole. His mouth is full of cursing. Read on.
And deceit and fraud.
And deceit and fraud. Everything the white man speaks is cursing, deceit, and fraud. Read on.
Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. What does that mean? What's under the tongue? When you open your mouth, your tongue is moving. As a white man tongue moving, all that's coming out is mischief and vanity. Everybody understand that? The white man is the devil the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
We're gonna get you some of this history on how this celebration of Thanksgiving came about, and you're going to see that everything that the Bible just said is the absolute truth. Got the sound on the TV?
Most of us associate the holiday with happy pilgrims and Indians sitting down to a feast, and that did once. The story began in 1614 when a band of English explorers sailed home with a ship full of Patuxent Indians bound for slavery.
In 1614, the white man from England came over here and captured Native American Indians. If you go back to 1492, the celebration of Columbus Day is the celebration of Columbus finding the island of Hispaniola, which today is where the Dominican Republic and Haiti is. And when Christopher Columbus found those Native Indians, he rounded up 800 of them, put them on a boat, sailed them over to England. By the time they finished the trip, only 300 were left alive. The celebration of Thanksgiving, the celebration of the finding of America, is the celebration of the genocide and murder and enslavement of a race of people. And the real story of Thanksgiving starts with the enslavement of Patuxent Indians from the northeastern part of the United States.
They left behind smallpox, which virtually wiped out those who escaped. By the time the Pilgrims arrived in Massachusetts Bay, they found only one living Patuxent Indian, a man named Squanto.
Now, as these Europeans came back to America, after having leaving behind smallpox and other diseases that wiped out the Native Indians, they found one Indian left alive, a man named Squanto,
who had survived slavery in England and knew their language.
This man survived slavery in England, sailed back to America, and found his people destroyed. And when the Europeans came, they found him, and he was able to speak their language because he had endured the hell the white man had put on him.
He taught them to grow corn and to fish, and negotiated a peace treaty between the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag Nation.
Again, he taught them how to fish, taught them how to grow corn, and he negotiated a peace treaty between these Europeans and another group of Native Indians.
At the end of the first year, the Pilgrims held a great feast honoring Squanto and the Wampanoags. But as the word spread in England about the paradise to be found in the New World, religious zealots called the Puritans began arriving by the boatload. Finding no fences around the land, they considered it to be public domain. Joined by other British settlers, they seized the land, capturing strong young natives for slaves and killing the rest.
You understand? After this, Squanto had negotiated a peace treaty, and they sat down and had dinner after a year of the white man surviving here, then the rest of the white men came. The rest of the white men came now. In this story, she mentions the Puritans, you understand, which is one group of white people called them religious zealots. But damn that, all the white people who came here was murderers, rapists, and killers, and slavers. Everybody understand?
That's right.
The white man who called himself Dutch, the white man who called himself German, the white man who called himself Italian, French, Spanish, English, all of them, but Portuguese, all of them came to this land, found Native Indians, murdered, raped, robbed, and enslaved them. You understand? Thanksgiving is celebrated all across the world by white people because Thanksgiving is a white person's conquest day. You're going to hear about it more as this story goes on. Salah.
But the Dakota Nation had not agreed to the peace treaty Squanto had negotiated, and they fought back. The Dakota War was one of the bloodiest Indian wars ever fought. In 1637, near present day, Groton, Connecticut, over 700 men, women, and children of the Dakota tribe had gathered for their annual Green Corn Festival, which is our Thanksgiving celebration.
Now, here's the beginning of the celebration of Thanksgiving. There was a war going on between the Indians and the white man. These group of Native Indians called the Pequot. You understand? You go look them up in history. They lived in the northeastern part of the United States. They had a green corn festival. And basically what this green corn festival was is it's a celebration of, it's a harvest feast. You understand? Right before the winter, at the end of the fall, all the crops that grew from the summer and grew through the fall, Native Indians would gather all their crops up and they would have a celebration, sort of like the celebration it's like almost like the Feast of First Fruits. The Feast of First Fruits in the Bible was a celebration of the harvest during the springtime. Everybody understand that? 40 days after the Passover, the beginning of the year, the beginning of the year comes, and then 14 days after that is the Passover. And then this is 60 days morale or 40 days. 50 days after the Passover, then there's the Feast of First Fruits, which is a celebration of the gathering of the first crops. Everybody understands? You understand? Well, the Native Indians had a harvest feast that took place in the fall as well. They would gather all of their crops, gather all the squash and the potatoes and the tomatoes and the corn, all the things that grew in the summer through the fall, and they would have a celebration, have a feast. Well, the white man knew this about the Native Indians. The white man waited till the day that they gathered all their crops, you understand, and got all the food together out of the field, and they sat together and had this harvest festival. And this is a Native Indian event. No white people involved, no white people invited. Let's hear what the white man did.
In the pre-dawn hours, the sleeping Indians were surrounded by the English and Dutch missionaries.
In the pre-dawn hours, the Native Indians were surrounded by English and Dutch mercenaries.
Ordered them to come outside. Those who came out were shot or clubbed to death, while terrified women and children who huddled inside the longhouse were burned alive.
The white man told them to come out. The Native Indians came out. The ones that came out, they were shot down, they was murdered, they was killed. The ones who didn't come out, they burned down the village, burned them inside their homes. The white man's mouth was full of cursing, deceit, you understand, and lies.
Next day, the governor of the Massachusetts Bay Colony declared a day of Thanksgiving.
After this slaughter of these Native Indian people, the governor of the Massachusetts Bay Colony declared a day of Thanksgiving. And that's where your Thanksgiving comes from. That's what America celebrates. Now, we're going to play the video more. You're going to hear about the other days of Thanksgiving that came after this first day of Thanksgiving. The day of Thanksgiving began with the slaughter of Native Indians who the white man attacked while they was in the dead of night on the night after they celebrated the harvest festival.
Because 700 unarmed men, women, and children had been murdered. Cheered by their victory, the brave colonists and their Indian allies attacked village after village. Women and children over 14 were sold into slavery, while the rest were murdered. Boats loaded with as many as 500 slaves regularly left the ports of New England. Bounties were paid for Indian scalps to encourage as many deaths as possible. Following an especially successful raid against the quote, in what is now Stamford, Connecticut, the churches announced a second day of Thanksgiving to celebrate a victory over the heathen savages.
After murdering, raping, and enslaving, they decided to have another day of Thanksgiving. And here's what you got to understand for you brothers and sisters out there. If you Black or Latino and you believe that you can celebrate Thanksgiving because, you never murdered no Native Indian and you ain't have nothing to do with it. If you celebrating Thanksgiving and you're not understanding the plight and the suffering of the Native Indian people, then you are disrespecting your ancestors. Because just as well as the Native Indians suffered, your people suffered. Everything that your people suffered in this land and suffered coming over here on ships, suffered being oppressed and subjugated and having your backs beat and having your language and your heritage and your history stolen, the Native Indians went through the same goddamn thing. Before the white man was coming to Africa snatching up slaves, for 120 years, he was doing it with the Native Indians. Now, all of the 77 million Native Indians that died in America, they didn't all die from smallpox. They didn't all die from the white man's diseases. They died from murder. The same way 100 million so-called Negroes died in the transatlantic slave trade from murder, from being hung on trees, from being lynched, from being worked to death. The same thing that happened to the Native Indians happened to you. How dare you turn your back on the suffering of your ancestors and the suffering of the Native Indians' ancestors when all of them suffered the same thing. If our ancestors could be here today, they would tell you that the white man is the devil and he is your enemy. And the only way that we're going to be able to get free is if we band together and we come back and be the people the Lord called us to be. You celebrating Thanksgiving, you celebrating an evil, disgusting thing, and the Lord going to repay the white man for this great evil, for this great lie that he's told, for the way that he's deceived us. You understand, brothers and sisters in the world that don't even know any of this information. They think that it's really about being thankful. Some brothers and sisters just say, hey, I'm thankful, man. The white man is the devil for that. The white man is going to pay for the evil that he's perpetrated against our people. We'll play a little bit more.
During the feasting, the hacked off heads of the natives were kicked through the streets like soccer balls.
Today, they put on a football game. They cut off people's heads and play soccer with them in the streets. That's the white man. Today, he let you watch the Redskins versus the Cowboys. Today, you gather around and watch the Chicago Bears beat the Detroit Lions. Later on, it's going to be the Atlanta Falcons versus the Saints. But when the white man, and what's happening on that football field? Negroes busting their heads against each other, tearing ACLs and knocking shoulders out of place and giving each other concussions. The white man still get his entertainment on this evil day that he celebrated the destruction of the Native Indians and the destruction of the so-called blacks and Latinos.
Even the friendly Wampanoag did not escape the madness. Their chief was beheaded and his head impaled on a pole in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where it remained on display for 24 years.
You understand? Even the Native Indians that made a peace treaty, the Wampanoag and the Pocot were two different types of Indians. One group made a treaty, the other group didn't. They fought. White man murdered both of them. White man took the chief that made a deal with them, cut his head off, put it on the goddamn pole, let it sit there for 24 years. Here lies the head of a Native Indian that trusted us. Here lies the head of a chief that was foolish enough to make a deal with us. That's how the white man repays you for a treaty with him.
Feelings became more and more frenzied, with days of Thanksgiving feasts being held after each successful massacre. George Washington finally suggested that only one day of Thanksgiving per year be set aside of celebrating each and every massacre. Later,
the white man was doing so much murdering and so much killing of the Native Indians that George Washington had to step in and say, hey, y'all, we having too many days of Thanksgiving. So much murdering and conquering of the Native Indians was going on, and the white man was having a celebration every other week. 2 times a month, they partying about murdering Native Indians. George Washington said, hey, man, it's out of control, y'all. We got to get this, celebrating these murders. We got to reduce this down to one party. We're getting too drunk, too much partying going on, ain't enough killing being done. So George Washington stepped in and said, we're going to have one day of Thanksgiving because there's too much partying going on over all of the murder and the genocide being committed against the Native Indians.
Abraham Lincoln decreed Thanksgiving Day to be a national legal holiday during the Civil War.
And then later on, Abraham Lincoln made Thanksgiving a national holiday. And what did Abraham Lincoln do concerning the Native Indians? Abraham Lincoln had Native Indians murdered. Andrew Jackson, another white devil, is the one who pioneered the Trail of Tears and the signing of the Indian Removal Act. They marched hundreds of thousands of Native Indians from Georgia and Alabama and Louisiana in the South all the way to Oklahoma to a barren land where none of their animals was there and none of their crops could grow. America is the land where one nation was, genocide was committed against one nation and another nation was enslaved, man. America is not the land of the home, not the home of the land and the home of the free and the brave. It is the home of the murdered and the slave, man.
On the same day, he ordered troops to march against the starving Sioux in Minnesota. The story doesn't have quite the same fuzzy feeling associated with it as the one where the Indian and Pilgrims are all sitting down together at a big feast. But we need to learn our true history so it won't ever be repeated. This Thanksgiving, when you gather with your loved ones to thank your Creator for all your blessings, think about the people who only wanted to live their lives and raise their families.
The people who, the lady talking in this video, want you to have a kind heart and understand. Damn that. She should have said the white man was the devil He's a murderer and a rapist and a thief. And you should not celebrate Thanksgiving. You should get together with your family and say, damn the white man and his feast and his celebration. Everybody understand? Real quick, give me John chapter 10, verse, hold on, let me get the thief coming not but to steal and kill. Give me John 10 to 10. That's what I thought it was. Give me John chapter 10, verse 10 real quick. This is Christ prophesying the white man's existence on the earth. Malachi. Go ahead, read it.
John chapter 10, verse 10. The thief cometh not, but to steal, and to kill, and to destroy.
The thief cometh not, but to steal, kill, and destroy. You understand? The thief is the white man. You understand? The thief is the white man. And he comes what? But to steal, kill, and destroy. And that's the white man when he came to America. That's the white man when you call 911. That's the white man when he come to foreclose on your home. That's the white man when he come to take your children with DHS. That's the white man when you go to court for a goddamn traffic stop. That's everything involved in the so-called white man. We shouldn't go to this devil for a damn thing. Because when he comes but to steal, kill, and destroy. And he don't steal, kill, and destroy like a normal person. He don't steal, kill, and destroy just a little bit. The white man gobbles and takes until he can't have anymore. Because that's the savage beast that he is. Go ahead. Or is that it on that? Is that it on that? Yeah. Go ahead.
I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly.
You understand? Christ came so that we might have life and have it more abundantly. How are we going to have life? And how are we going to have it more abundantly? Because we're going to turn in the fake celebrations of Thanksgiving, and we're going to instead turn and keep the law, statutes, and commandments and obey the Most High and celebrate the day when Christ come and destroy this devil for all the evil that he's done. Everybody understand? See something. Give me drop that. Let me get Psalm chapter 55, verse 20. In this is why the Bible is so important. The Bible is the wisdom and the knowledge and the understanding that we need in order to see our oppressor for who he really is. Because again, everything we've been taught by our oppressor, the religion that we've been given, the very belief system that we've been given, is all about forgiveness and love and trying something other than turning your back completely on the man who destroyed you in order to be able to get free, in order to be able to come together. The Bible prophesies the spirit of the white man. And if we understand the spirit of the white man, we can understand the spirit that it takes to defeat him. Psalm chapter 55, verse 20. Everything that we just heard about the white man is in the Bible. Read.
Psalm chapter 55, verse 20. He hath put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him.
He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. The Native Indians was at peace with the white man, and all the white man did was put his hands on them. All he did was murder, rape, and kill them. Even right now, I watched a documentary the other day. The white man in the Nestle Corporation has a what is it called? They got lobbyists to pay money to the government in Michigan in order for them to be able to draw water from a well that's in Michigan, right? Now, Nestle is where all the goddamn water comes from. This water in these bottles comes from natural water that's flowing in the state of Michigan. The water that the white man pumps out of the earth to put in these bottles is on Native Indian land. Land that the white man made treaties and agreed that this is your land, you can do what you want on your land. But when a corporation like Nestle comes and they put money in the government's pockets, the government goes ahead and gives Nestle the right to take water from off this Native Indian land, destroying the ecosystem, destroying the animals, destroying the wildlife, and taking away all the fresh water. The white man put his hands against such as be at peace with him. Read on.
Oh God. He has broken his covenant.
He has broken his covenant. Every deal, the white man made over 177 treaties with the Native American Indians and did not keep one. Did not keep one. My father's a Native Indian. I'm a Gadite from the Lumbee tribe in North Carolina. My father, I went down there and visited my father about a year ago, and I talked to my father about moving down there, about coming and getting some land and building maybe near him and having some land down there. Maybe one day I get older, I go move, I live down there. My father said, "Son, you don't want to come down here." He said, our ancestors about 100 years ago signed a treaty with the white man. He said, "What did your father say it was?" He said it was in 1932. The Native Indians in North Carolina in Fayetteville and Lumberton and Pembroke signed a treaty with the North Carolina government that the state would give them some land and that they would be able to live free on this land for 100 years. They could build and they could farm, they could do whatever they wanted on this land for 100 years. But in the year 2032, the government would come and take the land back. And so my father said, "Son, we got 15 years for the white man to come take all this land." I said, "So hold on, Pop, what do you mean?" I said, "So if I came down here and I bought some land and I started to build, let's say I built an apartment building or I built a business." He said, in 2032, the white man gonna take it. You wanna keep your business, if you wanna keep what you built, if you wanna keep your farm, you're gonna have to start to pay taxes. You're gonna have to pay the white man for this land. But in 2032, they're taking it. We're gonna have to buy it back. He said, "These people poor, they dumb, they not gonna have no land." And I said, "Well, damn, Pop, what's being done about it?" He said, "Ain't nothing being done about it." He said, "I try to tell them, the government, the Native Indian government know, but what the hell they gonna do? The people poor down there, they on drugs, they living in hell. Ain't the white man built it up down there because it's their land. The white man ain't gonna come build no condos. He ain't gonna run ain't no goddamn buses running down there. That same land that gets flooded every year, the land that gets flooded in North Carolina off I-95 in Fayetteville, all that's Native Indian land. And the white man flooded on purpose because he's the devil that the Bible speaks of. Right. He's broken every covenant that he made. You see what happened 2 years ago with the pipeline that they ran in South Dakota. Them brothers and sisters on Native American lands, the land the white man forced them to go and live on, them brothers and sisters came out in protest because the white man was taking their water. The white man was running a pipeline through their land. Donald Trump became president. He gave the company permission to run a gas line through the Native Indians' land. And then about 6 months after that, pipeline burst, oil leaked into the Native Indians' freshwater reserve. And you ain't heard nothing else about it on the news because the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And you're going to celebrate Thanksgiving. You celebrating Thanksgiving while Native Indians are dying and starving right now. It's like you celebrating Lynch a Nigger Day. It's like if Germany had Nazi Day and they marched in the streets of Germany with Heil Hitler and goddamn Nazi swastikas and the flags waving, the earth would be in revolt against the Germans. The earth would say, "This is disgusting. How dare you do this to the white man who calls himself a Jew?" But as long as it's niggas and it's Hispanics and it's Native Indians, don't nobody give a damn. Well, you should give a damn because God gives a damn. God ain't forgot what the white man done did to you. He ain't forgot what the white man did to the Native Indians, and it's still doing. And there's going to be vengeance from the Lord. Keep reading.
Verse 21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Oh, we just want to have peace and make a treaty and make a deal. White man is the devil the Bible speaks of.
Right.
You understand? He presents himself like a lamb, but inwardly he's a dragon. That's in the book of Revelations. You understand? The white man has convinced the earth that he's Jesus Christ. He comes, he just wants peace and love and democracy and freedom. He wants to murder, rape, rob, and have sex with your children in the mouth. That's the white man. He's a dirty, nasty monster. He's the creature from the Black Lagoon. He's the goddamn animal under the bed that your children have nightmares about. He's the ghoul in the closet, that your child is afraid to sleep with the lights off. That's who the white man is. Read on.
Oh, God. But war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
His words were soft as oil, but he had his swords drawn. And this is what we have to learn about the white man. This is what we have to learn about what we up against. This is a people who have no conscience about anything that they do. They willing to murder, rape, rob, commit genocide, and then tell you to celebrate it in order for them to have houses in Malibu. In order for them to be able to, go and party on the weekend and get drunk and pop a molly and get wet. That's what they did it for. They did it so they could have what they have today in America. And if you realize that that's what you're up against, then you'll realize how definitely important it is to serve the Lord and to be who he called you to be. Because what can you gain in this world being what the white man called you to be? All you can gain is more death. All you can gain is more murder. All you can gain is more deceit, more cursing, more fraud. Damn that. Drop that. Let me get Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 10. Now, with the native Indians, everything that's befallen our brothers, as well as it befell us, is due to us not obeying the Most High. The native Indians are a part of the 12 tribes of Israel, and they suffer under the curses of Deuteronomy the 28, just like so-called blacks and Latinos. And the problem, the reason why these things have been able to happen to them is because they did not read the Bible. They did not keep hold of this wisdom that the Most High gave to our ancestors thousands of years ago. But now that we have it, we have to take hold of it and we have to apply it to our lives. If the native Indians who greeted the white man on the shores of Connecticut and Massachusetts knew the words of the Lord, then they would have understood why they could never enter into any treaties with these people. They would have understood why they could never make any dealings with the white man or trust him. Come on, sis.
The Native American Indians today, our brothers and sisters, know about Thanksgiving. Are you aware of the history?
Yes, they are more aware of the history than we are. The native Indians, there's been the history of their conquest is very alive with them. That's why many native Indians suffer from alcoholism, because to live in a land that you know your ancestors used to own and roam freely, to be stuck on 30 miles where there's no crops growing, there's no animals to eat, and you're constantly under oppression by the white man, it'll cause you to just drink all day and get high and want to die every day of your life. The same way we are depressed and suffering in the ghetto, the native Indians are depressed and suffering on the reservation. The same way that we poor and all we can do is get high to feel better in the hood, the native Indians are poor and all they can do is get drunk to feel better on the reservation. You understand? The same way we look at our condition and it's messed up, and we know that the white man is the enemy, the native Indians look at their condition and it's messed up, and they know that the white man is the enemy. But just like we powerless in the hood to do anything, they powerless on the reservation to do anything. That's why the Most High is raising up prophets in the ISUPK to teach our people the way that we fight back. Them brothers and sisters, the native Indians, they lost, just like we lost in the hood, just like they lost in the barrio. You understand? We lost all over this land because we don't know the Lord. Come on, sis. All the 12 tribes going through the same thing. The native Indians is going through what you going through in the hood. What you going through in the hood, them brothers and sisters in South America is going through. That's why they trying to march to get to America. That's why there's a caravan leaving South America, because there's nothing but murder, rape, and robbing going on down there. Unfortunately, them brothers don't know that it's the same thing waiting for them here in America. But the Lord is bringing us together so that as we get together and we look at each other and look at each other's situation and circumstances, we can say, hey, man, what happened to you? Black man should look at the native Indians and say, what happened to you? Native Indians say, man, white man did it. And the native Indians should look at the black man and say, what's up with y'all? What happened to y'all? Man, white man did it. And we should turn to the Hispanics and say, well, goddamn, Migo, what's happening with you? And Migo say, man, the white man did it. And we should say to each other, yo, we all been messed over. We all been dead dirty. We all suffer. And the white man is the one to blame. How about we come together and fight against him? How about we come together and not look at how much difference we have, but look at what we have in common, which is our enemy, which is the way that we've been oppressed, which is the way that we've been destroyed. And if we do that, then maybe we can find that the Lord is the one that give us freedom. Go ahead, sis. That day is happening right now. You brothers and sisters in these rooms all across the country, you brothers and sisters watching online, you are a part of what it's going to take to set Black people free, to set Native Indian people free, to set Hispanics free. Because the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding the Most High has given us in this Bible, we're going to carry it to the four ends of the earth and wake up every brother and sister. And as they wake up and come back to the Lord, we're going to get free. And our prayer is that we're here when that freedom comes. Oh, I pray I get to see the day that the Lord crack that sky open and the Black man pour out the sky with 200 million angels, you understand? And the white man gonna have to pay for all the crimes that he committed against these people who he looked at as nothing but niggas and spicks and savages. Everybody understand that? All right, let's read what the Lord said. Here's the wisdom and the wisdom of the Most High that we need to know now, that we're going to use now to free ourselves, that the Native Indians should have had if they were serving the Lord. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10 in the apartment. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let the brother in the front get it. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
Say it again.
Never trust thine enemy.
Say it one more time.
Never trust thine enemy.
The Lord said, never trust thine enemy. You understand? You ever heard the saying, keep your friends closer and your enemies closer? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Excuse my friends. That's some stupid ass logic. Keep your friends close with your enemies closer. The Lord said, never trust your enemy. Damn all that. The white man is your enemy. Not my words, God's word. Anybody confused about the white man being your enemy, just raise your hand. I'll show you in the Bible where God said he's your enemy. God is the black man's enemy, the Native Indian man's enemy, and the Hispanic man's enemy in the Bible, according to God's word. This Bible was around long before we got here. The Bible going to be here long after we gone. And God had it recorded by prophets thousands of years ago that the white man was your enemy. And God said, never trust your enemy. Damn that. Never trust your enemy. And there were some Native Indians who trusted the white man, but there were some Native Indians who didn't, like them quotes. They said, damn that, we ain't trusting that pale face. They fought and they hung in there. There was many Native Indians that fought. The white man admired the Native Indians who fought. They legendary because of their strength to fight against the white man. The white man they got tales about Native Indians who rode the back of horses with no goddamn saddle. You go look at a horse and how big and muscular a horse's body is. It was Native Indians that jumped on horses and grabbed the back of their hair and just rode on a horse. You know how hard a man's body got to be to do that? You get on a horse now, you can go ride a horse. They got horse riding classes, equestrian classes here in Philadelphia. You go ride a horse for 2 hours. The whole inside of your thighs is going to be burning because of the saddle that you on. Because that's how strong the horse's body is. Native Indians would ride horses for hours, hunting buffalo, going from 30 miles a day. They were strong, man. They was warriors. That's why the white man named the goddamn missile a Tomahawk missile. Named a helicopter an Apache helicopter. That's why the white man mocks the Native Indians with the Florida Seminoles and the Kansas City Chiefs and the Atlanta Braves. The white man admired the Native Indians for their strength in resistance. But for all of them who didn't resist, they trusted their enemy against the orders of God. And what does the Lord say about trusting your enemy?
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. What happens when iron starts to rust? How can you reverse the process? Sis.
Be able to bring it back to its original.
You can't. You can't stop rust. Once something rusts, it's rusted forever. The Bible says, never trust your enemy, because like as iron rusteth, so is his hatred. You can't make the white man love you. You can't make the white man stop being who he is. He's been a homosexual since the Greeks and the Romans. You think you're going to get a white man to not put a penis in his mouth? You ain't never going to do that. He's been a child molester since the days of the Greeks and the Romans. You think you're going to stop the priests from molesting little boys and girls? You think you're going to stop the foster care system from molesting little boys and girls? It'll never happen. You can't change the white man. You can't make crooked, well, you can't make straight what the Lord made crooked. The white man was put on this earth to be the evil, to be the wicked, and he does his job well. God said, never trust your enemy, because like iron rust, so is his hatred against you. There's only one solution to the problem of white supremacy and white people on the earth, and it's blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians obeying God so that the Most High will destroy them and put them in chains where they belong. Everybody understand? Drop that. Let me get on Genesis chapter 49, verse 19. Now, when the white man, we read a little bit, I talked a little bit about Andrew Jackson and the passing of the Indian Removal Act and how they marched Native Indians from the southeastern part of the United States over there to Oklahoma. The Bible prophesied the destruction of the Native Indians, and we're going to get into some of those prophecies now. You understand? Starting with Genesis 49 and 19, the Lord prophesied what happened to the tribe of Gad, so-called Native American Indians in North America. Raise your hand if you got it. Go ahead, young man, right here.
Gad, a troop shall overcome.
You understand? Gad, a troop shall overcome him. What is the troop that overcame Gad? What is another word for a troop? Raise your hand. Go ahead. Soldiers, or a group of soldiers. What is the, give me some terms for a group of soldiers. You right. Give me a term for a group of soldiers. Come on, young.
A band or a colony.
The band, the colony, those are good. Right here in the front.
Army.
The army, that's another one. Give me ranks in an army. Give me ranks in an army. Give me some names for ranks in an army or divisions of troops. What is the name of the division of troops that conquered the Native Indians, sis?
Like captains, generals, officers.
Those are ranks. I want the names of groups of soldiers. Who conquered the Native Indians? Who made the Native Indians march from southeast United States over to Oklahoma?
It was British, wasn't it?
Nah, that was American. That was Andrew Jackson in there. Come on, young. No. Heisman. No, not the Navy. It was a group. Go ahead. No. Morale.
Like, it begin with a C. I cannot remember. Is it something?
All right, shout out to Tyrone Holland, Johnny Lomax, Trooper Yakad Bunyanyan, and the son of Yahweh, Bayana Shah. On YouTube, it was the U.S. Cavalry. The U.S. Cavalry is the troop that overcame Gad. Those are the troop. That's the troop that marched our brothers and sisters from the southeast United States over to Oklahoma. Marched our brothers and sisters from Ohio, where they had the city of St. Louis. The city of St. Louis is built on an old Native Indian town. The city of Ohio, I want to say, the city of Pittsburgh. There's many cities along the Mississippi River that's built where Native Indians had major strongholds. The Native Indians used to travel up and down the Mississippi just like the white man do. White man learned them trade routes from the Native Indians. A lot of those cities that set up along the Mississippi River are set up on top of literally the bones of Native American Indians. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, St. Louis, Indianapolis. The white man has done research in those areas, and there were mound cities that the Native Indians built. Meaning the Native Indians used to build cities. They used to build giant hills and then tunnel in those hills and build towns there. You understand? Just like we built pyramids in Egypt, the Native Indians built mounds here in America. You can go Google it and research it. The white man saw that the same mathematics that was in the mounds that was built here in America is the same mathematics that was in Egypt, which lets you know that the children of Israel are the ones who built the pyramids in Egypt, and we were the ones who was building and established ourselves here in America. Everybody understand? Native Indians had cities all across this country. There's books with white men who gave accounts that there were cities that was bigger and more populated than Paris, France, when the white man came over here and found the Native Indians. They was thriving at an entire civilization, a culture, knew who they were. You understand? And the white man murdered them and destroyed them and stole all the records and told you that they were savages. You understand? The Lord said, the truth shall overcome Gad. And that's what happened to them brothers and sisters. The U.S. cavalry overcame them. Shipped them over to South Dakota and North Dakota where nothing grows. Shipped them to Oklahoma where nothing grows. And they still there today, dying and suffering and in hell. Read on.
But he shall overcome at the last.
But he shall overcome at the last. But the Lord is going to have the final say about Gad. The Lord is going to be the one that writes the ending of the story of the Native American Indians, and it does not end with them being destroyed by the white man. It does not end with them being overcome by a troop. Everybody understand? Now, let's go to the book of Habakkuk. Go to Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 5. This in the book of Habakkuk, what we're about to read is prophecy that was fulfilled in ancient times during the days of Habakkuk, and it was also fulfilled here in America with the emergence of the so-called white man in this so-called new world and the destruction and the oppression and the genocide he committed against the tribes of Israel and the tribes of Judah. The tribes of Israel and Judah and his fellows, as the Bible calls them. Go ahead, Tamayan.
Habakkuk, chapter 1, verse 5. Behold, ye among the heathen, in regard and wonder marvelously.
The Lord said, behold ye among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously. Who is the Lord talking to? Who is the ye among the heathen? Sis, Israelites. Israelites not in Jerusalem. Israelites not knowing who they are. The Israelites who living amongst these other nations. The Lord said, behold, meaning look, and regard, meaning study carefully, and wonder marvelously. Something the Lord is about to do that is amazing. Read on.
For I will work a work in your days, which ye will not believe.
The Lord said, I'm going to work a work in your days, which you going to not believe. Meaning I'm going to do something that you ain't going to believe, even if I told you. Read on.
Though it be told you.
Literally, I'm going to do something in your days that you're not going to believe, even though I'm going to send Habakkuk to tell you about it. This is the Lord prophesying against Israel, something that he's going to do in the earth that's going to be a wonderful, marvelous wonder. Everybody understands? Read on.
Verse 6. For lo, I raise up the Chaldeans.
And the Lord called them a bitter and hasty nation. What does that mean? A bitter and hasty nation. Trooper.
Quick, jealous.
A foul, impatient nation. Bitter and hasty, meaning they leave a sour taste in your mouth. They disgusting. You understand? They wicked, they evil, they bitter. They ain't no mercy in them. Ain't no happiness in them. Ain't nothing good in them. They bitter. They a bitter and a hasty nation.
Right.
They impatient. You understand? They greedy. Can't have enough. It's the white man. And the Lord said that he was going to raise them up and they would march through the breadth of the land to possess the dwelling places that are not theirs. What was the white man's method of what was the white man's slogan before he conquered the Americas? What did the white man call his conquering of America and the destruction and the genocide of the Native Indians? He had a name for it, a term for it. White man wanted to rule America from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast. And he knew that to get there, he was going to have to murder and kill and enslave and lie. And what did he call it? Manifest destiny. Manifest destiny is the name the white man gave to the genocide he committed against the Native Indians. And in committing that genocide, he fulfilled the prophecy in Habakkuk. He marched through the breadth of the land and possessed dwelling places that were not theirs. It took over St. Louis, took over New York, took over Philadelphia and Washington, D.C., and Delaware, and Virginia, and Maryland, and Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and Vermont and then goddamn Connecticut or Massachusetts. Every state in America, the white man marched through and took lands that were not theirs. Read on. Trooper, read. You read verse 7. Habakkuk 1, verse 7. Habakkuk 1 and 7. You can read it. Go ahead. If you got it, I mean,
Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 7. They are terrible and dreadful.
Lord said they are terrible and dreadful. Read on.
Their judgment and their dignity shall proceed of themselves.
Their judgment and their dignity shall proceed of themselves. Meaning what? Their judgment and their dignity speaks for itself. What was the white man's judgment on you? Murder, rape, and robbery, enslavement. What was the white man's dignity concerning you? The white man has no dignity. He has no integrity. He's a liar. He's a thief. He's a murderer. Read on.
Verse 8. Their horses also are swifter than the leopards.
Their horses also are swifter than the leopards. When the Native Indians, when the white man came here, what did he introduce to America? What did the white man introduce to the Native Indians that they had never seen before? I mean, horses. Horses are not native to America. Horses came from Spain and Portugal. The white man brought horses to the Americas. The Native Indians didn't have horses here. I mean,
He also brought other fruit here to that lemons and stuff, right?
He brought some fruits here, but the majority, he brought some things here, yeah. But the majority of things considered delicacies on the earth today came from the Americas. The white man didn't have chocolate. The white man didn't have apples. The white man didn't have oranges. There's a lot of things the white man did not have. He didn't have tomatoes. Tomatoes were not grown in Europe. You understand? A lot of things that are delicacies today came from the Native Indians' land. But the white man brought horses. The Bible, in prophesying the white man coming against Israel, said that their horses are swifter than the leopards. You think the Native Indians thought when they got on the battlefield with the white man and they riding down with horses? God damn, these men move like leopards. Everybody understand? Read.
God, sir. And are more fierce than the evening wolves, and their horsemen shall spread themselves, and their horsemen shall come from far. They shall fly as the eagle that hasteth to eat.
They shall fly as the eagle that hasteth to eat. The symbol of the white man is the eagle. And the white man, there's stories of Native Indians saying these white men came here and spread like a disease. The white man came one day, it was, one boat, and they built a little fort, and the next thing you know, they all over the land. The white man spread like a locust. You understand? The white man covered these Americas and destroyed the Native Indians in 100 years? Go do some research. The white man, in 100 years, the numbers of Native Indians in North and Central and South America went from 77 million to 10. White man decimated the whole Caribbean, decimated in 25 years. Because of murder, rape, enslavement, harsh, cruel bondage, and forced to work in fields. He just decimated the Native Indians. Just like horses can travel quickly across the land, just like an eagle fly long distances, the white man, that was the prophecy of the white man coming against the Native Indians here in America. Read on.
Verse 9. They shall come all for violence.
They're going to come for what?
All for violence.
They're going to come for what?
All for violence.
They all came for violence. White people that came to America, they didn't come to find a new land. They came to murder and take. You think when Christopher Columbus went back, he went back and said, hey, man, open land, y'all. We can just go over there and take it. No. Why the white man come with dogs and with soldiers with armor? Why the hell Christopher Columbus come with soldiers? The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria was full of soldiers. They built a fort, an outpost when they landed in the island of Hispaniola. Why? Because they knew they were coming to go to war. They knew they were coming to murder. You read about the encounter of Cortez and the Native Indians down there in Peru. Them crackers came with armor, you understand, fully plated knighted armor. They came with horses and vicious dogs because they knew they was coming to murder, rape, and kill. They all came from violence. Go ahead, Tama. You want to say something?
I heard also that Christopher Columbus came with 2 Hebrew interpreters.
That may be true. The white, for sure, Christopher Columbus knew. They knew what they was doing, man. They lied about the whole story of the coming to America. They came to America for war and conquest. There was no war going on in Europe while the Americans was being conquered. Why is that? The French wasn't at war with France, wasn't at war with England. Spain wasn't at war with England. Spain and Portugal wasn't beefing. When they was conquering America, the Germans wasn't fighting against the Dutch. In order for the Dutch to get to America, they got to travel through France and England and Ireland and Spain. There's no way for the Dutch to get to America without passing by all the other European nations. How the hell did the Germans establish strongholds in Africa? There's 4 or 5 countries the Germans got to travel through before they get to Africa. The white man got together and put aside their differences in order to conquer you. The Germans and the French and the Italians and the English and the Dutch and the Irish and the Scottish, they all got together in councils and said, hey, y'all, I know we don't all get along. We speak different languages and we got beef, but we ain't never going to be able to survive unless we deal with the children of Israel. We ain't going to be able to survive unless we go into Africa and get those Hebrews that's living amongst them mud people down there and put them in slavery. We ain't going to be able to survive. The white man made a conscious decision to put aside all his differences to murder you, to enslave you, to conquer you. Go ahead, Tamayan.
Also, sir, I was wondering, was it also when Christopher Columbus came here, wasn't that during the Spanish Inquisition?
Yes, it was a little bit, yeah, it was around the time of the Spanish Inquisition. While black Jews were being murdered and kicked out of Spain, Christopher Columbus came to America to get the other rest of the 12 tribes. This white man knew exactly what the hell was going on, man. This thing didn't just happen. Read on.
Verse 9. They shall come all for violence. Their faces shall suck up as the east wind, and they shall gather the captivity as the sand.
Their faces shall suck up as the east wind, and they shall gather the captivity as the sand. What does that mean? They're going to take slaves of everybody, left and right, up and down, inside and out. Ain't no escaping it. This is a prophecy that Habakkuk gave about the Chaldeans, and it was fulfilled during the time of Israel being taken into captivity under King Salmanassar, and it was also fulfilled when the white man came to America and conquered and slaughtered and enslaved the Native American Indians. Your life is in this Bible. Your history is in this Bible. God is real, and he's prophesied everything that's happened on the earth. And the Lord prophesied what happened to our brothers and sisters in this land. The Lord prophesied what the white man celebrates on Thanksgiving. Read on.
Come. Verse 10. Verse 10. And they shall scoff at the kings.
And they shall what?
Scoff at the king.
That was them cutting off the head of that chief of the Wampanoags and putting his head on a pole. Scoff at the king. That was what, chief of what? Okay, cut his head off, put it on a pole. And do the same thing today. You understand? Anybody that gets prominent or rich or famous among us, the white man take him and murder him and kill him or throw him in prison, make an example out of him. Read on.
And the princes shall be a scorn unto them. They shall deride every stronghold, for they shall heap dust and take it. The
Lord prophesied through Habakkuk a marvelous wonder. A destruction is something evil that we would not be able to believe if the Lord told it to us himself. The Lord prophesied what was going to happen. Ain't no way, they ain't going to take over all our land. Ain't gonna take 9.5 tribes into captivity. Ain't nobody gonna come conquer all of us. Damn that. We didn't listen to Habakkuk. We didn't listen to the Lord. And we was conquered in those days. And imagine the Native Indians, 100 million strong in America. 500 nations of Native Indian tribes who was living and thriving in this land. If you'd have came to them and told them that you're going to lose all this land, your descendants are going to be living, you understand, going to be living in the goddamn on reservations, little squares and plots of land, and you're going to be conquered and overtaken and overthrown, and you're going to lose everything. They'd have laughed in your face. There's no way. You understand? We the this nation and the that nation, and we got warriors and soldiers with arrows and spears. This is my father's forest, and you know what I'm saying? He hunted this land before me, and me and my children gonna hunt this land after him. They believed that they was never gonna lose their land. But what happened? The Lord made a prophecy, and the prophecy came to pass. Go ahead, True.
So I made that kind of remind me of this movie I see. It's like it's called Apocalypto.
Mm-hmm.
And that, just like what you were saying, how the family said his father hunted this, that side that they were in, generation. And it also too hit on every point. Like at the end of the movie, it shows where the ships come. At the end, I guess is where they come to colonize it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it cut off right there.
If I could, I was quoting that movie when I said what I said just now about this is my father's forest. I was quoting that movie. That's where the quote where it come from. But that was the feeling of many Native Indians, and they had a right to feel that way. The land that our ancestors lived on, they was there for thousands of years. The Bible tells you they came here after the captivity in Assyria. They came here thousands of years ago, and they settled themselves here. And they was here for generation after generation after generation. There's a book called A Star in the East by a man named Elias Boudinot. The book A Star in the East by Elias Boudinot. He was a white man who came here, and he went and lived among the Native Indians and studied them and talked to them. Elias Boudinot said that the Native Indians here in America were the lost tribes of Israel. And those Native Indians said to this white man that they had it here, that they were the people from the land of Israel, that their ancestors came over here on ships, and that the book that the white man has now was their book, their record, that they had turned their back on. But while they was following it, they had great power and could perform amazing wonders, make it rain in a drought, you understand, and make the crops grow and do different things. But then when they stopped following the book, when they stopped following the ways of their ancestors, that's when they fell into captivity. That's when they fell and lost their power and were able to be overtaken by the white man. The Native Indians knew who they were. They knew what was going on. And there was some, the Lord said he always preserved 5,000 that have not bent the knee to Baal. There's some Native Indians that know that this thing that's happened to them was because of their disobedience. They don't use the terms the Most High. They don't say because of the Bible, but they say that the Creator allowed this to happen to us because we lost our way, because we turned our back. You understand? There were some Native Indians, I guarantee you, the Lord had some prophets to tell them the destruction is coming. You don't hear that. I'm sure there were some Native Indians now. I'm sure there were some Native Indians that was against treaties with the white man. I'm sure there was some Native Indians that were saying, nah, man, we can't trust them. But then you had the majority saying, nah, we don't know them, and they knew. And then you had fake religions that the Native Indians had, false gods they was worshiping. There was prophecies of white saviors coming and leading them to a day of great, amazing, glorious wonders. And them false gods and them different religions the Native Indians had is the reason why the Lord destroyed them. Because they were sinning and they was evil and they was wicked. And part of their destruction was the white man, was the Lord using the white man. Just like our destruction was the Lord using the white man. We all been punished together for disobeying the Lord. And the only way we're going to all get free is if we come back and obey him. Everybody understand? You understand? But the Lord prophesied what the white man did, and it came to pass. Go ahead.
So if I may, what's the difference between the Native Americans and indigenous people?
There is no difference. That's the same. Those are two terms for the same group of people. Just to say Native Indians and to say indigenous means the same thing. It means they're homeborn Americans. Both of those terms mean the same thing. The reason why there's the term Native Indian is because Christopher Columbus said he was looking for India. And so when he arrived in America, he called the people here Indians because he thought that he had found India. But we know that's a lie. But that's the term Indian comes from. Well, Christopher Columbus was looking for India, and when he landed here, he thought he found Indians. Everybody understand that? So you call someone a Native Indian, you're just, or Native American, you're just saying they're homeborn American or the original American. The term indigenous means you are native to a place, or you were the first people to settle this place. So indigenous and Native Indian means the same thing. All right. The indigenous people of the Americas were conquered by the white man because they disobeyed the Most High. Everybody understands that? All right. Read on. So I can drop that. Let's get Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Who's his soul? It's talking about the white man. The soul of the white man is lifted up. It is not upright in him. White man got an evil, disgusting heart. He's proud because of his murder. Proud because of his conquest. Proud because of his conquering. Proud because of his ancestors' murder. And white people today that hate niggas and hate them people that's crossed the border, it's because they got the spirit of their fathers in them. There's white men across this country now that's mad they can't go murder a nigga. Mad they can't go lynch a spick. And then quietly, there's some white men who taking that power into their own hands. There's some white men who is murdering, who is lynching, who is killing spicks and niggas and savages. Go ahead. The water. There's stories right now of Native Indian women missing off reservations. You on a reservation, 1,000 women missing. How the hell that's happening? Black women, 40,000 black women missing in America right now. Where the hell all them sisters at? Think of all the babies that get kidnapped. A white man, somebody is missing while missing out the white neighborhood. Amber Alert, you get a goddamn text on your phone. What happened when Shaquisha and Keisha and Lorraine, Charlene go missing? Don't nobody say nothing. They think they just ran away. Them little black girls is being abducted. And who the hell knows what evil, nasty, disgusting nonsense the white man doing? He's proud because of his propensity to murder and kill and not feel nothing for it. Go ahead.
When black girls go missing, you gotta go on Instagram and find out. That's the only place they go to post a picture like this girl is missing.
Instagram, Facebook. There's no national system set up for outrage and to speak about the things that happen to us. The ISUPK is the only place where you're gonna find black men who care about little black girls, care about little black boys. All the goddamn homosexuality amongst our young boys, who the hell say anything about it but the ISUPK? Who the hell trying to fix all these little boys that been molested and make them into men but the ISUPK? You go to church, they make you more of a faggot. Go to church, they make a little girl who been molested more of a whore. We the only place where you're going to clean you up, teach a boy to hold his head up and speak strong and be confident, not to be a little faggot and be weak and to be all sensitive and soft. That's what the world teaching our children. How's a black girl going to learn that she got value beyond what's between her legs, but in the UPK? The only place on the earth where you're going to find righteous men and women who love the Lord. Show me anywhere else where niggas ain't celebrating Thanksgiving. The Muslims celebrate it. The goddamn shit, Salaki. Who the niggas with the little hats? The Moors celebrate it. Salaki, little hats. You understand? Everybody celebrate what the white man say to celebrate. You got staunch, hardcore Muslims in the kufi and the dress gonna sit down and celebrate Christmas in a month. We the only ones that stand for the Lord, man. Damn what everybody else talking about. Keep reading. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations.
This is the white man. This is the white man. You understand? He transgresses by wine, meaning what? He's drunk. And not drunk is on liquor, but drunk on power, drunk on his philosophy, drunk on his ideology of rulership and conquering all nations. You understand? He had a keeper at home. The white man didn't stay in Europe. He could have stayed his ass in the goddamn caves. Could have been a faggot in the caves. Could have been a murderer and a rapist in the goddamn mountains. Could have stayed wherever the hell he was at. But no, he ain't a keeper at home. He go everywhere. He enlarges his borders. White man emerged from the caves, you understand, south of Israel, found his way to the Caucasus, enlarged himself there, then found himself in Greece and spread across the entire earth, killing and murdering and raping. He enlarged his desire as hell and is as death. The white man is as death. You find white people, you're going to find death. They are a virus and a plague and an infection on the earth. Got that from Matrix. You understand? That's the white man. He's a goddamn virus. He is a plague. Everywhere he goes, he gobbles up, and the earth is destroyed and suffers because of it. Go ahead, Thelma.
Like, so, if I want to know if I was correct, the white man ran to the Caucasus Mountains after Rome fell, right?
He's in the Caucasus Mountains. Okay, he was in the Caucasus Mountains after Rome fell, but he was there. Salakia. Yes, you're right. He fled to the Caucasus Mountains after Rome fell. Before that, he was in the mountains south of Israel. You understand? Then he spread into Greece. From the mountains of Israel, he spread in Phoenicia, spread to the Greek islands, had a stronghold there, flourished in Greece and Macedonia, took over the earth as the Greeks and the Romans. Then when Rome fell, a large population of them fled into the Caucasus Mountains. You understand? So yes, you're correct when you say that. All right? But he fled and he enlarged himself. You understand? And he is as death and cannot be satisfied. Enough, there's no such thing as enough when it comes to white people. You would think after all the murdering and the raping and the robbing they did to us, the white man would let Mexicans come across the border. You would think the white man would be like, okay, we own everything. Let the Arabs have the Middle East. But no, he need that oil. He needs Syria to fall. He need Iran and Iraq. Not enough, he got Chinese. There's Chinese people that sit in goddamn prison houses 18 hours out the day, taking computer chips, putting them in the back of a goddamn Apple phone. Chip phone for 18 hours of the day. There's documentaries. They got Chinese sweatshops where they got gates on the windows, but outside the windows, they got nets because the Chinese go crazy and break out the goddamn prison, jump out the window to die, and get caught in a net. And they catch him in the net, pull Mr. Yang Lang out the goddamn net, put him in the window, take his ass back up on the third floor for chip phone. I got a PlayStation. I love my PlayStation. I know my PlayStation came from chip phone. That's what's happening to the Chinese. Everybody understand? They're suffering all over the planet because of the white man. Now, I feel bad for some of them Chinese, but damn that. That's what they get. But guess what? For them Chinese that's doing chip phone every day, when Christ return, they're going to be all right to eat some rice. No more chip phone. You eat some rice. The Chinese man that's in charge of him doing chip phone, he going to do chip phone, goddammit, because I'm going to keep my PlayStation when the kingdom come along with it. I need my Grand Theft and my Red Dead Redemption and my Madden or something. Or it's gonna be some new games. You understand? Killer Cracker edition of Grand Theft. I need something. You understand? Something got to shake. It's gonna be a job for everybody when Christ comes up. Those who poor and suffering, they gonna get free and they're gonna have a decent life if they obey. And all of those who rich and living good, they are going to suffer, because they have joined hands with the white man. Everybody understands. Read on. Give me the end of verse 5 and Habakkuk 2.
But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
You understand? He gathers to himself all nations and heapeth to him all people. Read on.
Verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him?
The Lord said, all these are going to take up a parable against him. Who is all these? All these nations. Salaki Morah. We get just a call for Andrew and Charles. Keep reading.
And a taunting proverb against him.
And a taunting proverb they're going to take up against this man who the Lord is prophesying against right now. Let's read what the Lord says.
And say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. What is woe? We went over it yesterday. Young brother, what does the word woe mean?
Woe means destruction.
Old Quaker English word that means destruction. The Lord said destruction to him that increaseth that which is not his. Oh, that's destruction to the white man. He's taken and taken and taken, and everything he took was not his. Read on.
God will come. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay.
How long is the white man going to take that which is not his? How long is the white man going to be a greedy, disgusting bastard? In the length of this white man's greed, the Lord said, and to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, meaning what? The white man is just piling sin and sin and sin on top like thick clay. The white man is piling judgment on himself like thick clay. Read on.
Verse 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto him.
You understand? Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee? There's an awakening and an arising against the white man all over the earth. But it starts with the Spirit of the Lord here in the UPK, in this land called America, with the rising and the awakening of the 12 tribes. As we wake up and we become aware of who this white man is, and the Lord continues to let prophecies come to pass, the nations that the white man has murdered, raped, and robbed are going to come against him, and they are going to ride on him. There's war brewing in the Middle East. There's war with Russia and with China. There's war with the Philippines. All these nations who see the white man for who he is, they are awakening and they are arising to bite and vex him. You understand? And the white man is going to be for booties unto them. What is booties? Who knows some old pirate slang? Go ahead.
Booties like a spoil, dividing what they call it.
Yeah, booties is like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the I'm trying to find some slang words we use today. Go ahead. The loop. The loop. Give me some hood words, though. What do rappers be saying? The stain. You know what I'm saying? That's some old country Memphis shit. Memphis niggas say, we're going to pull a stain. I mean, they're going to rob a nigga. You understand? That's booty. Booty is what you get from robbing and murdering and conjuring. Go ahead. I mean, give me some of that Florida slang.
It's a sweet lick.
It's sweet lick. You understand? Ain't a white man a sweet lick. You understand? And when I'm from DC, they say if niggas about to get got, they say he loafing. The white man loafing on these other nations. You understand? You was gonna say something like, give me some of that old North Philly shit. So like, give me some of that North Philly slang. You understand? And lick. The white man is sweet lick to these other nations. Chinese looking at the white man like, okay, yeah, we've been doing chip phone, but we also been doing, you know, saying fuel missile, goddammit. And the Chinese let the white man get the chip in the phone, but the white man taking that chip phone technology and building stealth jets and bombers and shit, flying them over the China Sea and turning over on the side and opening up the missile base. Let the white man see, yeah, we got something for you. Go ahead and play stupid if you want. And Donald Trump is the white man that is stupid to play with these nations. You understand? And it's all the Lord's doing. It ain't a coincidence, man. These things that's going on in the earth, they're not a coincidence. It is the Lord prophesying, and those prophecies coming to pass. Everybody understand? Keep reading.
Verse 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood.
Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood. Read on.
And for the violence of the land.
And for the violence of the land. Read on.
Of the city.
Of the city. Read on.
And of all that dwell therein.
And of all that dwell therein. There ain't been more murder, rape, and robbery committed on the earth than here in America. There ain't been more destruction and more subjugation of the people than here in America. I spoke about the Chinese in sweatshops, but guess what? The Chinese got their language. They got their Chinese God. They got their Chinese culture. They got their Chinese way of life. They got their Chinese rice and their Chinese dragons. What do niggas get? What do Hispanics get? What do Native Indians get? Jordans. God damn, that's what we get. We got Jordans. We got Polo. We got, you know, come on.
Little bags, dime bags.
Dime bags. We got, you know, we got keys. And we got nice cars and bitches with fat booties and titties. That's the culture the white man gave us. Because of the violence that was done here. We got Thanksgiving. I don't tell me about no goddamn Chinese and no special. Fuck them Chinese. I'm gonna play my PlayStation when I get home. Because we ain't got shit, nothing because of the white man, because of his cruelty. Them Chinese got Chinese problems, that's the Chinese fault. The black man problems is the white man's fault.
Right.
The Native Indians problems is the white man's fault. The the Latinos problem is the white man's fault. Because that's all we got is what the white man gave us because he took everything. You understand? The Lord is prophesying the destruction of the white man for what he's done to us here. You celebrating Thanksgiving, God gonna kill you in your goddamn Thanksgiving. God gonna kill you for joining hands with the white man.
Right.
You better wake up yesterday and find the truth and commit yourself to being who the Lord called you to be, because there's a day of vengeance that is coming on this earth, and I can't wait for it. Keep reading.
Verse 8.
No, verse 9.
Verse 9. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house.
Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house. What does it mean to covet? Some of you.
To plot on something that is not yours. To plot on somebody else's belongings, to take it when it's not yours.
Okay, you went a step further. To covet is to want something somebody else has. To covet is to see a man with a nice woman and say, I want that woman. You understand? You can see a man with a nice woman and say, oh man, you got a beautiful wife. That's what's up. Find one like her. Does she got a sister? Does she got cousins? That ain't coveting. There's nothing, you know, compliment a brother. Be careful with yourself. Don't be careful. Don't compliment me about my woman. I'm gonna look at you sideways. Don't say, hey, Sock G, you got a beautiful wife. What, nigga? I'm looking at my woman. Look at my woman ain't beautiful, nigga. I'm the only nigga that thinks she's beautiful. Watch yourself. Be careful. You understand? But you can see my wife and say, man, I wish I could find me a sister like that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You tell that's a compliment. Man, Sock G, man, Lord bless you. I wish I could get a woman like that off the water, brother. Well, you know, she's a monster behind closed doors, but the water, though, I appreciate it. You understand? But to covet is to see a man and a woman and say, man, I want that woman. I'm going to get her. He weak. He shouldn't have that woman. He lame. He shouldn't have that woman. You understand? That's coveting. Coveting is wanting what somebody else got. That nigga got them Jordans, man. He wear my size. I'm going to get his Jordans. Go buy your own, goddammit. Go work hard. That man work hard for what he got. Go get your own. But coveting is wanting what somebody else has. And the Lord said, woe to him that coveteth with an evil covetousness to his house. The white man has wanted what you have had his entire existence. And he's coveted what you had so much so that he's gone and taken it and brought that covetousness to his house. The Lord said destruction to him. Everybody understands? But be careful, because there's a lot of brothers who have done the same thing the white man did to us. They're doing it to the white man. They're coveting what the white man has. Coveting the white man's wealth and his riches and wanting it so bad that they're willing to do anything to get it. Don't covet an evil covetousness to your house. Everybody understands? Goddamn, you see a white man shining and got money and got wealth and got riches. Pray the Lord destroy the devil so that you can have it. But don't go and be what the white man told you to be in order to have what he got because you're jealous. That's what happened to the brothers in the drug game. Sisters on a stripper pole. They see what white people got and they want it so much they'll do anything for it. Don't be like that. That's weak. Damn that. There's only one way to get what you want in this life, and that's serving the Lord. All right. Keep reading.
No, God. That he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil.
The white man has coveted that covetousness to his house so that he can set his nest on high. That's why the white man want to live at the penthouse of all of the big buildings downtown. Go downtown, some of the buildings down there. You understand? Where they got the, what's that place they stopped us from speaking outside of, Marah? Was it Liberty Place? Go on to Liberty Place and get on the elevator if you can. Liberty Place got about 47 floors. Who the hell live on floor 47? A white man. Without a shadow of a doubt, I ain't even got to Google it, look it up. Cracker live up there. Why? Because it's like the mountains. Them tall buildings in every downtown, in every city. Who live up there? Mr. Cracker. You might as well say Cracker. Instead of floor 47, just say Cracker. Or white man. Or whitey. So out here. If you find the top floor in any building in any city in America where it's not a white man living there, I'll stop teaching forever. It don't exist. The white man has done this evil to set his nest on high. You understand? Read on.
Sir.
Verse 10.
Verse 10. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and has sinned against thy soul.
You understand? This is the white man. He cut off his house. He's consulted shame to his house by cutting off many people. For all the murdering and the raping and the robbing the white man committed, he's brought shame on himself, brought shame on his house. You understand? Read on. And it's like he sinned against his soul, meaning he sinned in a way that there's no repenting, there's no coming back. He's brought destruction on his soul. Read on.
Verse 11. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it.
Now, what is the Lord saying here? I need y'all brothers and sisters to understand the mysteries of the scriptures. You understand? The Lord said the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. What is the Lord saying about the evil that the white man has done? The shame he's brought on himself. True. No, you want it. Come on, Tanya.
Even though the white man has cut off many people and cut us off by our inheritance, cutting off our culture and stuff, I think about what it means by the stone should cry out, the timber should answer it, the earth should reveal history, like how they found ancient Hebrew in America and stuff like that. Okay, that's one way. That's one perspective on it. You for sure on it though. You for sure on it. That's not. Again, it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's the word just escaped me. It's layered in the understanding, meaning the meaning is layered. There's a word that I use though. God damn it. It's a word. It's manifold. Salaki. It's the understanding is manifold. That's one way to understand it. Is that the earth reveals history, shows us who the white man is. But there's something else. Malaki, you had your hand up? Okay. The Lord is saying that the white man has done so much evil and done so much wicked that the rocks and the trees going to cry out for the Lord to destroy this man. White man that did so much evil in this land, the rocks and the rocks and the trees are going to condemn him. It's not enough for us to be praying. It's not enough to teach this class. It's not enough for us to send up prayers of destruction to the white man. The earth is crying. The trees are screaming out, deliver us. Kill this man. This man is a virus on the planet. The earth is dying. The earth is screaming out for justice from the Lord. Go ahead. Forest fires in California.
Forest fires in California. You understand? Hurricanes, tornadoes, all those things is the earth crying to the Lord for judgment, for justice. You understand? All these things are happening because the Lord is destroying the white man for the evil that he's done. And the destruction to the white man is going to come from the trees and the rocks and the water and the sky, as well as these other nations and those of us who the Lord choose to hunt him when the time comes. Everybody understands? Mariah, you had your hand up?
The brother online, I am Judah, he typed in the right answer as well.
Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. Read the last verse. Read Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 12. And again, this last scripture we're about to read, many brothers and sisters have heard this scripture before. It's another bedrock scripture in the UPK. But the prophecy leading up to it, you understand, is the Lord particularly prophesying against the white man for the evil that he did to the Native Indians and the so-called blacks and Latinos in this land called America. Read on.
Verse 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establisheth a city by iniquity.
The Lord said, destruction to him that build a town with blood. New York City, Philadelphia, Ferguson, Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, you understand, Des Moines, Iowa, you understand, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Washington, D.C., Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. These are places that the white man built with blood. The blood of the native Indians is in the earth for the white man to have Philadelphia. Damn that. Woe to him for that. Read on.
Sir. Verse 13.
No, read. And establish a city.
Okay, establish a city by iniquity.
And establish a city by iniquity. You go downtown Philadelphia, go down 13th Street Station. You're going to see statues of native Indians shaking hands with white people. You understand? Some of the names that's here in Philadelphia, still native Indian names. So many native Indian people. Some of the people that was native to this land. Germantown is a neighborhood built on the bones of native Indians. That was a native Indian town before the Germans came. Go ahead, Tamayan.
It's like I said, they got a statue when I first get in Philadelphia that amazed me so much. They got a white man on a horse with a slave, a black slave on this side, and Native American Indians on this side. It's a brand Philadelphia.
That's the white man. You know his history. He know what he done. Trooper.
I may like to elaborate what you said as far as the blocks, like all that's all the Native American names.
Yeah. All them difficult to pronounce streets. Them was Native Indian streets. Why? Because Native Indians was here when the white man was building that. You understand? And another thing too, what a lot of brothers and sisters don't understand, the white man popularizes the pictures of Native Indians with no facial hair. Popularizes the pictures of Native Indians with their hair slicked back. Majority of them Native Indians look just like you and me. I'm a Native Indian. You wouldn't know it. My whole life, when I first found out I was Native Indian, I went and looked. I was amazed when I went down there in North Carolina. My father and them was at. I ain't see no Indians. I saw a bunch of niggas. And niggas is Indians. We're the same people, always have been, always will be. But the white man make you think that Native Indians don't grow no hair on their face. They all got high cheekbones and they all got slick back hair. It's a goddamn lie. You understand? The Native Indians look just like you, look just like me. Them people being oppressed as niggas. The Native Indians that's on them reservations, they shave their face because that's the culture the white man gave them.
Right.
Native Indian feel like he's ugly with facial hair the same way a nigga feel like he ugly without a shape up. Because that's the culture the white man done gave them. The Native Indians, they grow their hair out. Them niggas got beards and nappy hair just like you and me. They wore braids and cornrows. You understand? Because that was their culture before the white man came. You understand? So it might be some Native Indians still here in Philadelphia, but you wouldn't know them if you saw them. And they're so few and far in between, they probably don't even look at themselves as Native. They look at themselves like niggas. But these cities and these towns all across America, North, Central, and South, was built on the blood and the lies and the fraud and deceit that was committed against the Native American Indians. And if you celebrated Thanksgiving, I pray you repent and ask the Lord to forgive you and never do it again. Because it is an evil sin and a disgusting, wicked thing against the Lord and your ancestors to celebrate the day the white man chooses to remember how he got everything that he's thankful for because of his murder, his enslavement, and his conquest of you. Let me get Ecclesiastes 8 and 84. Did any brothers and sisters have any questions online, Marah?
God, I gotta bring it down.
So, like, do you have any other chords besides the one you gave me?
I got one more, sir.
Let me see that one, see if it works, because this one don't work. Let me get the questions that you had. Anybody else got an Android cord? I need a cord that goes to that came with a phone. These cords the computer cords don't be working for me.
I believe this one came with a phone. I'm not too sure.
This one ain't working. Trying to say this phone for that. All right, to what? Go ahead. Read Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha 8 and 84. Here's what we must do now to honor what happened to the Native Indian brothers and sisters. You understand? Here's why. Okay, I know we live in 2018, and a lot of people want to say that the earth has changed and things are different now. The white man's still the devil today that he always has been.
That's
You
right.
understand? And the Lord prophesied. The Lord gave us warning of him and told us what we needed to do in order to be strong. Read Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 84.
Sorry, sir.
Go ahead.
I don't see it. Ecclesiastes 8:84.
Salah. Okay, maybe it's not Ecclesiastes. What's never seek to have peace with them? First Ezra 8:84. Salah. Not Ecclesiastes, Salah. First Ezra 8:84. My bad.
First Ezra chapter 8, verse 84. Therefore, now shall ye not join your daughters unto their sons, neither shall ye take their daughters unto your sons. Verse 85. Moreover, you shall never seek to have peace with them.
The Lord said, never take your daughters to their sons, and never give your daughters to their sons. You Black, Latino, and Native Indian, it's an evil thing to get you a nasty white bitch. You understand? Leave them white hoes alone, man. You got 12 tribes of Israelite women to choose from. You like, pretty light skin and nice glowing hair, go get you a sister from South America. Get you a sister from Puerto Rico. Leave the goddamn white woman alone. Everybody understand?
Oh,
You got a daughter. Tell your daughter she better not ever dishonor you by bringing home some nasty Joey or Gregory or some nasty devil. You understand? I wish I wish a child of mine to bring home a devil. Damn that. You understand? It's gonna be hell to pay. Teach your children to honor the Lord and honor their ancestors. And what did the Lord say that this is do for us? By separating ourselves from our oppressor, the Lord said we would be strong, man. Never seek to have peace with them. Brothers and sisters all across the country having Thanksgiving dinner to be at peace with white people. Damn peace with white people. I want to be at peace with my brother. I want to be at peace with the 12 tribes. Everybody understand? The Lord said, you do this, you will be strong. You will maintain your land. You will have an inheritance to give. Everybody understands? And that's what it's all about. Drop that. That's the end of the breakdown on the sin of Thanksgiving. Last few minutes of the class. If you got any questions, any questions on the topic, Aria? I mean, it's like Laura.
On the topic, sir?
Yeah.
Khan. Okay, the first question I'm gonna get, sir, is a brother, Craft. He said, okay, he asked another brother in the school if they have online classes down where he's at. So I'm gonna skip that one. He said, oh, a sister said, Salaki Adawan, how does the devil plan to go to war without the strong of our people and on drugs? He said, that is it. She said, that is in a nutshell, Adawan.
That's it in a nutshell. Okay, I'm not sure what she asked. You know what I'm saying? She got to be a little bit clearer. Just say the sister's name and tell her she got to be a little bit clearer with her question.
Salaki, Sister Naima, you can rephrase the question. Type it back in. Be a little bit more clear on what you're saying. Another sister also typed in, says, may I get a breakdown on Amos 9 and 13 and 15?
All right, let's get that right quick. Any other questions?
That was it so far.
Let's get Amos 9, 13 through 15 right quick. Come on with it, trooper.
It's the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 13. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes him that soweth seed, and the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. Verse 14, and I will bring again the captivity of my people of Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them. Verse 15, and I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land which I have given them, said the Lord thy God.
Okay, so this is the prophecy of the Lord restoring Israel to our righteous place, our rightful place. You understand? When it says that, read verse 13 again, when it says they're gonna the plowers are gonna overtake the reaper is gonna overtake the plowers. Read it for me. Shalom, sis. Lord be with you, sis. Most High Christ. Read one more time. Amos 9 and 13.
The plowman shall overtake the reaper.
The plowman shall overtake the reaper. What is a plowman? Plowman is a man that does all the work in the field, digging the trenches and digging the holes and planting all the seeds and planting all the crops. The plowman gonna overtake the reaper. Who's the reaper? The reaper is the man that comes and gets all the fruit, gets all the benefits. In America, the plowman is the laborer. The reaper is the white man who gets paid. The Lord said the day coming when the plowman is going to overtake the reaper. Then it said the day is coming when the grape gatherers, the man who plants in the vineyard, is going to overtake the man who gathers the grapes. Again, the man doing the labor is going to overtake the man who's reaping all the benefits. And then it goes into how Israel is going to be restored to our land. The Lord's going to put us back in our place and we're never going to be moved again. This is a prophecy of Israel being restored to its rightful place and our oppressors, our captors, going into slavery or being put in the position underneath us. Everybody understand? So that's it on that. Any other questions, Marah?
We got a few more questions, sir.
Real quick, if I could, let me give a shout out to Officer Karaya Allah in New York. He gave me a picture from the Bank of America in Hartford, Connecticut. It's an evil man. Let me see if I can share this picture. It's an evil picture of some goddamn pilgrims sitting above some Native American Indians. You understand? The white man is the devil. Let me see something. See if I can share this picture with what's his name? Here we go. This picture the brother shared with me. It's at a bank in Hartford, Connecticut. He said, hit allow on the phone, on the remote, all right?
Say it again, sir.
Just hit the button. There you go. All right. Oh my goddamn phone on down. Everybody can see the picture. There you go, right there. Everybody see the picture? The goddamn pilgrims up on top, Native Indians bending down, signing the treaty. You understand? The white man got the gun to him, got all the weapons, and the Native Indians on the right-hand side, they getting some goddamn gifts from the white man. This is what the white man, this is the idea that he wants you to accept about Thanksgiving. And he wants you to accept about what he's done in taking America from the Native Indians, but this is not what happened. White man murder. What they don't show is all of the dead bodies that's around. What they don't show is all of the murdered, raped, and robbed Native Indians. And now you look at Hartford, Connecticut, nothing but crackers, rich crackers, ain't no Native Indians in sight. Because the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? You can drop that, Marah. Any other questions on the topic?
They ain't on the topic. They just random questions.
No sweat. For all the brothers and sisters, y'all hold y'all questions till tomorrow or bring them next week with Thursday with General Muhammad will be back. You understand? In full effect with that. Pass the class over to priest and officer Malakia.